Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of our EAFC 25 RTG career mode here with Stoke City. We return today after beginning season 3 of the save last time out with a pretty busy transfer window. We'll close out the summer window today with around about a week left until deadline day, but we're going to start off with the Carabao Cup. I believe it's the second round as we travel to Oxford United looking to make it through to the third round. Come on, the Potters. Well, plenty of changes for us today, as you'd expect, and a chance for some of the fringe players to get some minutes, potentially put their name in the hat for some first team football in the Premier League as Vidigal opens the scoring. Well, there's the whistle, guys. Really poor game. Conditions didn't help, but Andre Vidigal's goal in the first half is enough to see us through to the EFL Cup third round. Terrible game to start off the episode. Well, after the game, let's find out who it is we will face in the third round of the Carabao Cup. It's going to be Brighton away from home. We just faced them in the Premier League, and now we'll be taking them on in the third round of the Cup. And I wouldn't be too surprised if our progress does end there. Well, guys, without crazy money to spend, this seems like a bit of a no-brainer. Going to try and bring Andy Moran back on loan. Like we did with Phillips, it will be his third successive season-long loan at the club, but kind of works out for both Brighton and ourselves. And yeah, I definitely need some more attacking options, so going to try and bring Moran back. So Moran loaned in, we'll jump into our next game as we travel to Portman Road to take on Ipswich Town. It's been a tricky start to life back in the Premier League with just 1 point from our opening 2 games. But we were unlucky against Brentford, created loads of chances, just couldn't find a way through. So I'm hoping we're going to pick up our first 3 points of the campaign here. Come on, the Potters. Yeah, great chance here to get our first 3 points on the board, and we created enough against Brentford to claim all 3, but ended up with none as Moran does well, and Million opens the scoring. Jack Taylor slides it forward for Smodic through to Delap. That's a brilliant finish, and that's why I was scouting him over the summer. Don't think we're quite in a position to be going for a player of his quality just yet, but at some point I would love to have this man leading our line. Yeah, son of Stoke City icon Rory Delap. I'd love to have Liam leading my line, as I've said, but I don't think we are at the level just yet. Only a newly promoted side, whereas Ipswich have shown that they can compete at this level. 2 years they've managed to survive, and here goes Bay. Bay looking to get us back into the lead. Moran gets there first, wanted it more. Picks out the skipper, Bay. Bay hangs it up. Million will get there first. Million to Kabore, who lets fly. Well, that's going to do it as well, guys. It's another point on the board for Stoke City, but we still wait for our first victory of the campaign in the Premier League. We went close a couple of times towards the end of that second half, but at a point, probably the right result. And it was a brilliant strike by Liam Delap to claim his side a point. Well, guys, into transfer deadline day, and you see the news there that Kata is injured. How bad is it? Thankfully, just a bruise that will keep him out for 5 days. I was worried that we might have to delve into the market once again to replace him, but just a knock. 10 hours on the clock. Definitely going to look to bring in some reinforcements and spend the majority of this 15 million we've got in the bank. Well, guys, the man that I really want to go after on deadline day is a player who's played in the Premier League before with both Tottenham and Everton. Currently at Villarreal, and it's Arnaut Danjuma. And I really like the fact that he's got the pace. He's a good finisher, good technically, and he can play in a variety of positions. Listed as a striker, but can play from the left as well, which is where I think a lot of his football will come for us. I like the versatility, very dangerous player, and I think I can bring him in on the cheap as well. So Danjuma is in. I think this is a really exciting signing. He's the sort of player that can get bums off seats with that pace and the flair that he's got. The only real downside is the low stamina at 64. 4, but I'm sure we can manage that by managing his minutes. Really excited to have him in, and on such a cut price deal at just 7.5 million, I think that's a really good pickup for a newly promoted club. Well, guys, it's quite apparent to me that we don't have quite as much strength in depth, and we don't really have many options off the bench, which is why I've gone after Danjuma, and I'm also looking to bring this man in from Nottingham Forest as well, Taiwo Awoniyi. I was really surprised that they would even negotiate with us for a loan deal, but I think as an option off the bench in late game, if we need a goal, he gives us something a little bit different, a big powerful presence and a great finisher as well. He's Premier League proven, and before Chris Wood turned into prime R9, he did a really good job of leading Forest line, so I think it'd be a great option on a 1-year loan. Well, guys, that's going to do it for deadline day, and as I say, I'm really happy with the 2 signings that we have made. As for the top deals, Julian Alvarez leaving Atletico Madrid to join Napoli for over 100 million. Jonathan Tah's left Bayer Leverkusen to join Barcelona, and Gabriel is his replacement from Arsenal for just shy of 60 million. So, of course, the bids come through as soon as we get past deadline day. But that will do it for our summer transfer window. Really happy with the signings that we have made. Bringing a few players back on loan, some new players coming in on loan, and also some quality coming in with the likes of Calvin Bassey and Ori Oskarsson joining the ranks. So, anyway, through the window, as I say, and now time to crack on with the season. And our next game is a big one, of course. Yet to pick up our first win of the season, and neither have our next opponents, Nottingham Forest. We've just signed Taiwo Awoniyi from them. Can we hit them with a double knockout and inflict another defeat here and pick up our first win of the campaign? Come on, the Potters. Yeah, I tell you what, to be perfectly honest, it's not really too much of a surprise to me that this Forest side have struggled to kick off the campaign. It's really not that strong on paper, and the fact they've just allowed Taiwo Awoniyi to head out on loan to us is a bit of a strange one. But honestly, I'm feeling confident we can get our first win of the campaign here as Oskarsson onto his right foot, shot blocked. They down the left against Hodges. He swings across in. What a ball! Oskarsson! Oh, it's a great save. But he really should have finished it off. It's a great ball in from Million from that left-hand side. And whilst he's unlucky and it's a decent save, he's in there again. And Bay! Oh, didn't quite catch it. It's a great save, but he's got to make sure he gives the keeper no chance and buries that. Corner for Forest. Swung into that near post. Kata does well. Moran gets something on it, but doesn't fully clear. It's kept alive as Moran wins it back. And now a chance on the break. Moran. What a ball. And Boz is away. Surely. And yeah, he was never going to miss that. Might be his first goal for the club. He had the option to sweat it to Million, but I had faith in the young Aussie. And I think that is his first for Stoke City. Skips away from the last defender and never going to miss from there. Go on, Mihaly, that's all you, son. Kata does well. That might drop for Bay. Sits up. Oh, my goodness. That is so unlucky from the skipper. I said he didn't get as many goals as I wanted from him last year. Still waiting for his first in the top flight, and he's not far away from it there. Mateta off the bench. Mateta lays it off. Mora! Can't believe it. Forest back on level terms. They've had nothing all game long. And the sub Mateta with an instant impact. But I don't know how Bassey didn't get in the way of that. Positioned him perfectly. And he just couldn't get a foot on it. There's the goal scorer Mora. Dispossessed by Henderson. Referee says no foul. Danjuma back to our goal scorer Boz, and Henderson gets there. There's Bay, and there's Danjuma. What a debut this will be! Danjuma off the bench to restore the lead, and the Dutchman off the mark for Stoke City. Manuel Dennis down the left into the penalty area. Oh, it's nicely worked. Mateta is 2 apiece. It's another cracking game. And Jean-Philippe Mateta, who's made the difference today, assisted the first and now scores for his second straight from kickoff. Oh, Emmanuel Dennis down the left, skipped away from Kabore. Mateta, the danger man, through the gap. Don't you dare! Oh, it's a big save by Bilal. And I think that will do it as well. Disappointing not to claim all 3 points, having led twice. But we're still finding our feet at the top level. And yes, we're yet to pick up our first win of the season. But we have picked up a few decent points along the way. Once that first win comes, I'm sure they will start flowing a bit more regularly. But just need to get off the mark and had a great opportunity to do so today. Well, still waiting for our first victory in the Premier League, but 3 draws from our opening 4 and just 1 defeat. It's not been the worst possible start, but our attention turns to the Carabao Cup now, taking on Brighton and Hove Albion at the Amex. We drew 1-1 here on match day 1, but with plenty of changes, I'm expecting our cup run may come to an end here. Come on, the Potters. Minte putting on the afterburners. Minte, that's brilliant. It's been a really poor game, and the one bit of quality comes from Yankuba Minte. Turns on the afterburners, races through our defence and smashes in at the near post to most likely send Brighton through. And yep, that is going to do it, guys. And Minte's goal is enough to send Brighton through. We had a rotated side out there. I always say the EFL Cups are my lowest priority, and especially this season, our first in the Prem. I'd much rather sacrifice going out in the early stages to hopefully survive in the top flight. I'm not too gutted about that. Yeah, it's been a really tough start for Stoke City on the field, and I'm hoping maybe off the field here we'll have a bit of luck with our next batch of scouting. From England, we'll keep the scouting on these 3 lads here until we've got a better understanding of the potentials. As for Ecuador, we've got some good young players in here at the moment. Araujo looks pretty decent, and this new lad, Mateo Sepulveda, really like the look of him as a young Ecuadorian left back. Yeah, we'll keep the scouting on those guys for now. Sepulveda looking really good. And as for Tonga, just these 3 lads here that will keep the scouting on. Only 4 players in the academy, so we'll just jump straight into our next game, taking on Aston Villa, who they themselves have had a pretty tricky start to the campaign. But away at Villa Park, I think it'll be a really tough test picking up our first win of the season here. Still, come on the Potters. Garcia into the middle for Amin Adli, round the corner. Morgan Rogers, how much time do we want to give him? And it looks as if the rot might be continuing here. Morgan Rogers opens the scoring for Villa. Yeah, I said I didn't want the wait for our first Premier League win to go on for too long. Because the longer it goes on, the longer it feels like it's just never going to come. I'm sure it will at some point, but yeah, really struggling. And as soon as you go into a bad run of form, it's so difficult to get out of. Berger, former Stoke City man, of course. Rogers, the goal scorer, dispossessed. Now Oscarson can bring it the other way. Danjuma back to the Iceman. Oscarson, lovely. Oscarson! Oh, he's missed it. Oh, I can't believe it. What a chance. And he flashes it wide of Martinez's goal. Oh, what a pass that is. Amin Adli races away. Bilal comes out and does brilliantly. That's fantastic goalkeeping. And down one end, Bilal keeps us in the game, and Oscarson down the other should have got us back into it at 1 apiece. But there's a lot of pressure on Oscarson at the moment. The new number 9, he's only a young man, and he's expected to score the goals. Oscarson does score the goals. The Iceman gets us back on level terms. And that's going to do it as well. Another credible point. Call us IKEA because we are the draw specialists. We've not lost many to kick off the season. Only 1 defeat and 4 draws in our opening 5. We can't get that first win on the board, but at least we're not losing games. Villa Park's such a tricky place to come for any Premier League or European team, and that's a credible point on the road. Well, after the game, as we get back to the menus, we see that Calvin Bassey went down with an injury. Let's see what the damage is. Thankfully, it is just another knock, just a 5-day bruise for the new man. He should be fit for our next clash against Manchester United. Returning back home to the Britannia, just clear of the drop zone at the moment. But as I say, we need to get that first win on the board. I'd be very surprised if it came here against the United side that have got off to a good start. But still, come on the Potters. Well, I think today's game might actually suit us a little bit more as there's space to play into on the break against United. They're very, very open on those turnovers, but of course we know they've got the quality going forward, so we're going to have to be on our best defensively as Dembele, who has been in fantastic form in real life for PSG recently. Højlund sits down Ashley Phillips and finishes past Bilal to give United the lead. Shaqiri caught late there. Referee waves play on, but I think Shaqiri might have stayed down. Boz has done brilliantly there. Boz, can he pick out Million? No, he can't. It will come to Kabore. And now Diomande stepped away from Gore. Diomande denied by Onana. Bay finds Shaqiri. Dumfries has kind of sold himself there. Bay lifts it into Million at the back post. It'll drop for Kabore, the former City man. What a ball! Oscarson just calmly picks up the ball, but draws us level right at the end of the first half. United not happy that we were allowed to play on. It's a great ball by Kabore and a brilliant header by the Iceman. Bay forward to Oscarson straight from kickoff. Oscarson round the corner for Bay. There's Linton and Oscarson again. What a turnaround from Stoke City, and the Iceman gets his second of the game, and Stoke are in front against United. Hey, that's terrible from Mount. Oscarson, maybe this is his breakout game. Oscarson, oh, it's brilliant. He's got Bramer all over the shop. And Oscarson completes his hat-trick. And it's taken him like 10 in-game minutes to do so. Oscarson tearing that United defence apart. And this is why I put my faith in him. Mount, free kick. Swung in for Højlund off the woodwork, and Dembele gobbles up the rebound to make it 3-2. Game is most certainly not done yet, and United within touching distance of us now. United's corner into that near post, could have gone anywhere, still might. And Dumfries and Bilal gathers, and that should just about do it, as we will slow things down and just run down the clock. What a victory for Stoke City, as Oscarson, with just one goal in his opening 4, now makes it 4 in his final 2. A brilliant run and a brilliant hat-trick from the Iceman today as well. First win in the Premier League secured for Stoke, and what a way to get it as well. Well, guys, after getting our first win and in such dramatic circumstances against United, I think that is where we will leave it. Unfortunately, Xherdan Shaqiri has gone down with a 4-week knock, so we will be without the Swiss wizard for the next month or so. But a decent start for Stoke City, just the one win on the board, but currently sat in 10th place with 7 points. It's been a pretty solid return to the top flight. And in the next episode, we will really crack on with the season. Now, through the summer transfer window, yeah, we're going to get down to business. So, lots to come in the next one, guys. I hope you have enjoyed. Take care and peace.